Pickaxe.
Well, it's been quite the month, hasn't it, since we last recorded?
Yeah, yeah, it has been a little bit. Yeah, not for Michael Johnson sitting pretty, living it moisturised.
Yeah,
in
this
his
guy
lane.
over here.
Yeah.
What's been going on with you two?
Employed tower.
That.
Yeah.
No. Oh, boys, I'm sorry. My condolences.
So, in the unlikely event that any Podiots listeners don't know about the Triple Jump News, which is the channel Ben and I have been working at for 6-7 years, we sadly have been made redundant over there for various reasons we've gone into elsewhere. But you know what? It's okay. We're feeling optimistic about the future. We've got ideas, not just ideas. We're actually making stuff already, aren't we, Ben?
Yes, that's quite right. So we have been, I mean, at the time of the release of this, there may actually be, I think there will be 2 episodes out on the brand new dedicated Worst Games Ever channel on YouTube. We're continuing that show, supported entirely by Patreon because the algorithm and YouTube ad revenue is terrible. So if you're interested in getting episodes an entire week early and supporting the show and the work that we do, please consider going and checking it out. Just search Worst Games Ever on YouTube or at Worst Games Inc. as in INC on basically every social media platform going, and there'll be all sorts of details there. But yeah, it's been a tumultuous month or so. We have, I'm thrilled to say, sort of landed on our feet courtesy of our incredible audience and all of the amazing support that they have given. And we're really, as Peter said, we're really optimistic for the future. So thank you, not only for all the kind words that you've sent, but also your support too, because it really has cushioned this fucking crazy situation we find ourselves in.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I can't believe it. It's been 10 years of Worst Games Ever, and it lives on like a cockroach in a nuclear apocalypse. But a very pretty cockroach, not your normal one.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, a very handsome cockroach. Yeah,
it's almost like it's a bit like Worst Games Ever is the disease that is being slowly spread from one venture to the next, and once it's killed them off, it finds a new host. It's like a parasite.
It has its own home.
Yeah.
Maybe that was its goal the whole time.
Was
to just set up shop on its own. But
it's left the larval phase and now it's emerged into a beautiful Worst Games butterfly.
Exactly. But regardless, it's out there and it's doing well so far. So thank you very much, all of you, for your support. We're also doing some solo things as well. Peter, you're making non-video game videos.
Yeah, I've had a lot of comparisons to Weird Capetia or just Podiots in general in my comment section. So you can find me at youtube.com/@thatpeterAustin, where I've done videos already on how the Pringles mascot got his weird name, and when a time when the Pope thought that geese grew on trees, and so on. So if you want to hear about weird stuff like that, the latter of which I have apparently covered on Podiots already, so someone has told me, then you can go and find out more over there. And Ben, you're also doing your own solo thing, aren't you? But that is gaming related.
It is. I am streaming a few days a week over on twitch.tv/confused_dude. Come tune in and watch some video games. There's also a VODs channel where you can catch up after the fact. And if you have an Amazon Prime account, then you get a free Twitch sub, and maybe you could throw that my way. That would be really amazing, and I'd appreciate it a lot. But yeah, what a fucking year to pick to end Podiots, huh? When just 2 months later, this happens. But yeah, it's been challenging. I feel like at this point, as we talk to each other at the end of May, we've sort of had time to come to terms with it and make peace with the situation. And as I said a minute ago, it's definitely been, we are buoyed by the wonderful support of the vast majority of you who we share in that collective audience. So thank you to all of you sincerely for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. Amazing. Well, best of luck for the future, boys.
Thank you, Mikey.
Yeah. And now for the present, the gift of Podiots.
What did you get? What did you get me? Oh, Podiots.
I got you, Kevin.
Oh,
Kevin. Kevin's carrying a note. Can you see what that says, Peter? Possibly about this episode and how it might sound.
Yeah. What does that? I can't read this. Apparently, there's been an issue with Michael's microphone. And some of this has been messed with a little bit in post. I don't know what that means, but Guess we'll go with it, right?
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Thanks, Kevin.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Podiots, the official Vidiots, a podcast. It's a conversational podcast where we take some questions from you at home and obey the law of the 3 Rs, where everybody brings a thing along to talk about. I'm Ben.
I'm Peter.
And I'm Michael.
Good day, gentlemen. How have you been? How are you? And what have you been up to? Michael Johnson.
I had an embarrassing day at work the other week.
Oh, no.
In front of an important client. I say embarrassing. It went well, but...
Was it Sonic? Was it Sonic the Hedgehog?
I wish... I feel like that would... we had the big glue man in the office. And I had accidentally had my I Hate Hedgehogs t-shirt on. It was a disaster.
Oh, no.
Lost the big contract.
Awkward.
Terrible. But we had... we've got pigeons nesting on the roof of the office at the minute, and I've become kind of like the guardian, the patron saint of the pigeon in the office.
Right.
And I looked out. There's like in the kitchen, there's a small window where you can look out at them, see how they're doing. And I noticed just next to the pigeons, there was a hole in the roof where there used to be like a grate cover, and the grate cover had just fallen off, and now there's just a void into nothingness. And all I had in my head was visions of baby pigeons falling down that hole and never returning. And so I made a mental note. I'm gonna pop out on the roof one day, and I'm gonna cover that up. But I'm not gonna do it today, because today's the day that there's a big client in the office, and I don't want to embarrass myself in front of that client.
Right.
So I waited till the next day, thinking that the client would be gone and the meetings would be done. The meetings were not done, and I happened to time me crawling out of the small window onto the roof with just when the client walked into the kitchen to get a drink.
Oh, God.
I was on the roof, just fixed it, turned around, and there we go. There's like 2 high-level people from this company and me standing there looking quite embarrassed on the roof. And one of the staff members just turned to the client and said, "Oh, this is Mikey. He edited that trailer for you the other month." I was like, "Oh, yeah, that was me. Nice working with you." He was like, "Oh, yeah, I live the trailer. What are you doing on the roof?" And I frantically explained, there's baby pigeons, there's a hole. I got to stop the pigeons from falling into it. And then it was time for me to come out. And so I just said to them, "Please leave the room before I try and crawl out this window." And I embarrassed myself even more. And they laughed and left. So I think I made an impression.
Maybe they'll remember you.
Yes, definitely. They've come back from all work though. So I'm putting that all down to me. Call me Salesman Mike.
What did you do to fix the roof?
I just the metal thing had fallen off, and I just grabbed it and put it back on. It was disgusting and covered in goop and feathers, but worth it for the babies.
You saved the babies, man.
I saved the babies.
You're a hero.
My babies. Thank you. How are you both doing?
Yeah, all right. I've actually just been away. I've been in Ireland for a week, and the weather was unbelievably nice, especially for Ireland, which is, it can be a bit wet and wild over there. I've been a few times, but it was lovely, to the point where if I hadn't continually applied sun cream, I would have burnt to a crisp. So it was really nice. I did something on my trip that maybe I might have brought along as my thing for this episode of the podcast. So I can't tell you too much about what I've been up to, but I had a good time.
Did you get a complimentary can of Rio and a tuck upon arrival?
Oh, if only. I should have told him I was going. Although, isn't he in Canada now, our Dave?
Oh, I think he's back in Ireland now. I'm not sure.
Is he back?
He's a globetrotter, yeah.
Oh, goodness me. I should have looked him up.
He should have just known you were coming anyway.
He should have been waiting with some drinks. I did see, actually, on the first night, so for the whole week we stayed in like just a house, like a rental Airbnb thing. But on the first night when we arrived, we stayed in the airport hotel because it was going to be a drive to get over to where we were, and we arrived in the evening. So we stayed in the hotel, and in the morning, when I went to enjoy the continental breakfast, the tray that had all the bacon in it was just labelled rashers, which is what Dave used to say.
Oh, God.
You want a couple of rashers, lads? So I did think of Dave. Yeah.
Bless him.
How about you, Ben?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you. I went to Japan recently.
Oh, of course.
that may also form the basis of a thing that we talk about today.
Oh, and hey, how was your birthday at time of release?
It was my birthday this week. Yeah. I had, at time of release, a good/bad time.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Ben.
Happy birthday,
Thank you
Ben.
very much. Thank you. Peter and I, we're both officially old.
Yeah.
Older than last year, which was already quite old. So yeah, it's crazy that we've been doing Worst Games Ever for nearly 10 years, because I still remember conversations we had at the time where we're like, we're only 23 and like, look at all the stuff we've accomplished.
Yeah.
10 years later, we were redundant.
We've been made redundant.
We've been redundant. It's it's crazy. But it's been a bit mad recently, and I am, at the time of release, looking forward to meeting Michael Johnson for lunch. What time does this release?
But
normally?
Not at time of recording. You're not looking forward to it now.
No. We normally release it like,
I'll pencil in the release of this episode to be exactly when we're having lunch. So
amazing. Okay, cool. Well, I look forward to meeting you for lunch in Bristol, Mikey, because I'm coming down south at the weekend. So
lovely.
That'll be
bring
nice
a big birthday cake for you.
Oh, you don't need to do that. And now if you don't, because you've said you will, I'll be very sad and I'll cry.
I've got to find the nearest Asda that still has a cake printing machine.
Oh my God. The Asda cakes. Things are good. I mean, it's all a bit chaotic at the moment, but everyone's support has been incredible, as we said in the cold open. So optimistic for the future, and big thank you to everyone. Also a big thank you to people who went to podiots.com. Donated £3 or more and decided to join Pod Squad. Thank you for this month's episode. Michael Johnson, I believe you have the first group in front of you there.
I do indeed. We begin with your dome gash is beautiful. Thank you.
Awful.
Raindrop Joy, Donak 07, Stephen Scodes, The Generous, King Cool with a K, very cool.
Very cool.
And they said, I was so sad that Podiots is ending that I bought some Minwax oil for high quality hardwood for my heartache. I regret it, and I'm warning others not to make the same mistake. I guess you can say I'm the last member of the TK crew.
TK crew.
Tea
cake crew. The tea cake crew.
TK crew.
It's something crew. TK or tea cake. Tea cake.
Tea cake.
Tea cake brew.
Bouquet.
The street of tea cake.
Very much cool.
Thanks, King Cool, for that.
We look forward to your clarifying donation on next week's episode.
Well, that's not all. We have Harry Wimmy-Wounds and the also generous Joel Loves Jess. They say, please give a shout out to my fiancée, Jess. Lots of love from Australia.
Hope you're nearly
married. I believe Australia's in a relationship with Jess.
Oh,
lots of love from Australia.
Best wishes, Australia.
Well, we hope you're married, and that's sickening. And also, shout out to fiancée Jess.
Shout out to Jess. Yeah.
Thank you, Joel.
Lovely. We've also got UV-induced knob spiders. Fred Current Watch Andor. Lord even sadder Nautovich. Oh, he's even sadder now.
Oh, no.
Man.
Triple Jump is changing. That's also a donation there. Caroline, do we own a cat? And also, in the wake of TJ changing, sad. Oh, thank you.
Finally, in a total tonal shift, we have Mess on Me Moobs for May Day.
I did see that one before we started, and I think it's my favourite.
That's a very good one.
Become OBGYN's Podiots. Periodiots. Geez, that's hard to say. Dome Gash D's Nuts.
Nice.
Urax von Para D's Nuts. JD Vance in the Underpants. Keith Scugwin's Dead. Kermit the Pog. Chocolate Eggers. And Prince Beefcakes.
It's a great haul this week. It's good, very good. What is... did we say Dome Gash last month?
Because it was the bird.
The old man.
The bird that attacked the old man.
Oh, yeah, the Dome Gash, yeah. Oh,
awful.
God.
Yeah, really bad. Thank you so much, Pod Squad. Podiots.com, £3 or more to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the next episode of Podiots. We have 6 more to go. And your support over since we made the announcement has been greatly appreciated, but do seal yourself into what's the term? Lock yourself in for immortality. That's none of the words leading up to that were correct, but become immortal.
Yourself. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. That's it. By going to podiots.com and donating £3 or more. Which is your guys' favourite?
Mess on me moobs for May Day.
It's very good. I'm quite a big fan of become OBGYNs for periodiots. That's grotesque. Thank you.
I'm also going to go for Mess on Me Moobs for Mayday.
Well, but everyone did well this episode. So
well done, everyone.
Really very good work across the board. Now, however, it is time to commence the things, and I believe that Michael Johnson is still in charge of things.
Oh, you're damn right. And I've learned from last episode, I have the order all perfectly planned right in front of me. And we begin with you, Ben, and your listener-submitted thing, please.
Okie dokie. This is a listener-submitted thing from our Discord from Benson's J98. And the article is from people.com. It is written by Meredith Wilshire, and the title is Toddler Has Surprising Fear of John Wilkes Booth Being Under Her Bed, open parentheses, exclusive, close parentheses.
Oh my God, what a headline.
It's exclusive, that's my favourite bit. Oh my God, I can't believe we've got the scoop on this.
We've got the scoop
on this huge scoop on this child's fear.
It's very specific bogeyman.
What were you afraid of as a kid? For Lainey Litton, it's John Wilkes Booth. Cassie Litton and her family were in Washington, D.C. for Thanksgiving when they decided to visit the Ford's Theatre Museum as part of their trip. The Tennessee native talks to People exclusively about how the seemingly harmless experience had a lasting impact on her family. While walking around the museum, Litton told her 3-year-old daughter Lainey that they were at a historical site and needed to be respectful. Cassie then gave Lainey a brief overview of what happened at Ford's Theatre, noting that someone named John Wilkes Booth had hurt then-President Abraham Lincoln. She's really held on to that, Cassie tells us. Although the mother of two tried to explain that it happened a long time ago, Lainey believed the threat was still present. There's a statue downstairs in the museum, part of the theatre, she said. Is that him over there? I responded, no, that's not him. This happened a long time ago, Cassie tells us. She was already on edge, so when we went for the presentation and they were talking about Abraham Lincoln and how it all went down that day, she just really held on to that. She was very fixated on Abraham Lincoln the whole rest of the trip, she adds.
Oh God, when they looking over her shoulder at all times.
Just in case John Wilkes Booth shows up. When they went to the Lincoln Memorial a few days later, Lainey recognised the statue as the man that got shotted, Cassie recalls. From that day forward, Lainey had a new fear. While Cassie says that mentions of Booth are not an everyday occurrence, she says it does tend to find its way into just our day-to-day conversations. We were at church one Sunday and the preacher was talking about how Jesus loves us. She looked at me and she said, Mummy, I love Jesus. I said, that's awesome. I'm glad you do, Cassie recalls. She said, Jesus loves us. I said, that's right. She said, you know who we don't love? I said, who? She said, John Wilkes Booth.
It's true. We don't love him.
Yeah, it's not Jesus. Good. He's a bad man.
Yeah.
It's not something that we tried to bring up to her, but she's aware that John Wilkes Booth was not a great guy. This article is surprisingly long. There's still so much more to this tale.
They've really pitched it perfectly, though. The tone is great.
Yeah. It is good. Cassie occasionally has to reassure Lainey that Booth is not in her room or under her bed at night. She was afraid to lie in her bed one night. I said, "It's okay. You're safe. You're in your room. Nobody can bother you in your own house." She said, "Yeah, but what if John Wilkes Booth is under my bed?"
I mean, Lincoln thought no one could bother him at the Ford's Theatre,
That's
right?
true.
And then John Wilkes Booth came in. Oh, God.
It's destroying me, this. What if he's hiding? She concluded. Cassie told Lainey that Booth is not on this planet anymore and that he existed a long time ago. However, to Lainey, a long time ago means yesterday. While that made her feel better, it didn't quell her obsession with Booth, who died in 1865. She said, "What if he comes and tries to take my stuffed animals away?" Cassie, and that's sort of the conclusion, then there's a summary bit here. Cassie is enjoying sharing Lainey with the world on TikTok. The video that first mentioned Lainey's fear of Booth went viral, amassing 14.2 million views. The Ford's Theatre employees saw the video and gifted the family t-shirts and merchandise from the museum. And then it continues because it's trying to link you to another article. But would you like to see Lainey wearing an Abraham Lincoln shirt?
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
John Wilkes Booth shirts.
Yeah, that would
no,
be
she wouldn't wear that. That's a mortal enemy. So that's Lainey there. It's just sending now, and she has Ritz. She's eating some snacks, some Ritz
she is
crackers.
So pleased with those Ritz,
which are American Tucks.
Tucks, yeah.
It's the easiest way to describe them. So, that is my listener submitted thing.
It's very good.
It's great.
The shirt says, "Vote for Abe, always honest." Yeah, that's him.
There's a need to know bit here.
It's a pretty haunting picture on the shirt, actually. I think that would be my sleep paralysis demon, is that specific picture
he's a bit
of
scary,
Abe.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
There's a 3-point need to know bit at the top of this People article that just says, "A family from Tennessee visited Ford's Theatre Museum while in Washington, D.C. Cassie Litton tells people her 3-year-old daughter developed an irrational fear of John Wilkes Booth. And then the toddler is often scared that the assassin who died in 1865 is hiding under her bed." And there's three bullet points, which are very
summary. Good. Yeah.
All right, that was wonderful. Thank you very much, Ben.
You're very welcome, Michael Johnson.
Oh, all right. I'm quite nervous for this one. It's time to do my thing.
I'm excited.
So I've done my fair share of fights in the past. I love a good bust up. We've done food fights, animal fights.
Oh, I thought you meant throwing bricks at people and stuff. But no, carry on. Tournaments, sure.
Keep that off the podcast, please. That's my alter ego.
It's a secret.
Right, but no, and today in the world of fights, the member, though this is, I don't know, making food fight important, making animals fight pretty cool. What's even cooler than that? Cool. Maybe choosing a design to forever be etched onto a human being's body. That's pretty cool.
That does sound cool.
Yeah, this is a fight with real world implications for today. We are indeed choosing a new tattoo for long-time listener, big time. I'm just going to call him out as the biggest fan.
Disagreement in that? There it is.
Strong claim.
People have got tattoos in the past. You're like runners up, but to have us choose the tattoo is just it's insanity, to be honest.
It's brave.
I'm very grateful to have you here. It's very brave. I'm very excited to see what you choose. The list is plentiful. So for such a momentous occasion, I couldn't just do a little handful of tattoo ideas. I thought, right, let's exhaust every possible opportunity or idea. And so I have 28 potential tattoo ideas for us to choose from. So in classic tournament style, it's just going to be fight after fight after fight. 2 tattoos will enter the ring. 1 will left bloodied and defeated, and then they will carry on to the next round, and into the final round, where the winner will be crowned. So yes, one champion will reign above the rest. I do want to make some ground rules here. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, should we click this link, Mikey, that you sent to us?
Yes. Are we allowed to look at this now?
Oh yes. So yes, I've made a bracket.
Okay.
I've relied on...
Goodness me.
Oh my God, there really are a lot. I mean, 28 as a number sounds a lot, but seeing it, that is a lot.
Some of these matchups are really hard, Mikey.
I know. I try to make them as fair as possible, but there's always going to be, we're going to have to kill our children. Basically, we're going to have to break some hearts. So I think we've already flagged a couple of favorites we have in here as I shared the list beforehand to make sure I got everything. And this is going to get intense. But I do want to set some ground rules, and I'm talking basically directly to Louis here rather than you two. Louis. This is not legally binding, all right? Whatever is decided here, you do not have to do, all right?
No, you do. You do. It is.
No, don't listen to your naughty uncles, all right? Listen to me. I'd say, well, yes, it's legally binding, but we're not going to pursue you after the fact. We'll just be a little bit upset. Not upset.
I will.
You live your own life. All right, they'll be upset.
He's got a gun too, I saw it.
I think if you don't like the winner, there's a bounty of options here to choose from. We would all lovingly love a home on your skin. So yes, choose wisely. But
what a sentence!
Oh God!
Love a home on your skin.
A home on your skin.
Oh dear. So just have fun, and we are excited to see what you go for. Hopefully, it's the one we choose, whichever one that's going to be. And lastly, there's a kind of the amount of numbers of tattoos here doesn't quite work in the traditional format where it's just first round and then they all fight in the second round. First round is all new tattoos, and the second round, a few new fighters will enter the ring and into the fray to then be whittled out and whittled down. So, all right, I think, boys, should we have a look at what the first one is?
Sure.
Yes.
Breathe in, deep breaths. Our first fighters today are the VS1 logo, a classic in Vidiots, YouTube videos and beyond. It's been on merch. It's been on quite a lot of videos. It's quite an iconic little design. It's the PS1 logo, but with a V instead of a P. Pretty cool. But you know what's cooler than that?
What?
What, Mikey? What is?
What?
A stack of Hannah Montana, the movie, the games.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
I mean,
Not
Sips
in
likes it, right? Sips was a big
does
fan.
confirmed. Tweeted about it after we left.
Yeah.
Oh,
Imagine not only describing that to a tattoo artist, but also what that would possibly look like and what kind of detail could possibly be had. It's such a small tattoo.
Yeah. All right, boys. It's time to get down to business. Which one do you prefer?
VS1 logo is too cool, I think, right?
Yeah, VS1 logo would be a legitimately good tattoo.
What if?
No, I'm very much on team stack of Hannah Montana games.
If you're getting a commemorative Podiots Vidiots tattoo, it has to be a little bit naff, a little bit shit, I think.
Well, there's plenty more to come, and there are some absolute naff ones in there. So it's plenty of chances.
Okay.
Hannah
Montana games.
Really? Okay, my vote goes for the VS1 logo, but congratulations. Are you getting nervous yet? Stack Hannah Montana games goes through to the next round.
Amazing.
Next up, we have Mr. Blobby or Garlic and Chips. Some of these are kind of open to interpretation, but I feel like the Garlic and Chips is, it's a polystyrene thing full of chips covered in white sauce.
That's not going to look sus at all.
Michael Jugson's face across your entire back, like Steve-O.
Yes.
One of the two. I think Mr. Blobby is a cooler tattoo. It is like a funnier tattoo, and I think other people would know who he is. It wouldn't be as difficult to explain.
Yes. You can just say, oh, it's Mr. Blobby. I like Mr. Blobby. You don't have to go down there. Right, well, there's this video from like 2008 of an old man. So I think that's a good choice. I feel like I'm leaning towards Mr. Blobby too.
All those reasons you just gave are the reasons I'm picking Garlic and Chips.
Right, okay.
This one.
What
are you saying,
no,
Mikey?
I'm going to go Mr. Blobby. I'll save you. Okay. I'll save you having the air jugs in whatever way. I guess be the reasoned one here. Am I the mediator?
I think so.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Well, I think I know what Ben's going to choose for this next one.
Are
Then.
you sure? Because the other option's really good.
Yeah,
I really like the second option here, but the first option is Ronald Kuhn. Would you like some of my McNuggies? It is.
Are you craving some of my
Sorry,
Yeah.
thank you. It is, yes, that big booty purple boy creating McNuggies. Or Gizmo being stole by a seagull.
That's the little
Gizmo
chihuahua.
being-
Tiny,
Stole.
yes.
I mean, it would be an elaborate tattoo, wouldn't it? I mean, I guess you could get a cartoony version done, but I genuinely think, just as taking out the context of what's actually happening, I think the McNuggies grimace is a better, just like little icon to go on your body, but
Yeah.
it does have a lot of baggage, quite literally, attached. I'm leaning towards McNuggies grimace, I have to say, but
Yeah, I
both
might just go with McNuggies grimace.
I'm saying McNuggies grimace as well.
Okay.
The Gizmo one's a good one, but I can't resist that plump run. Next up, okay, we're getting slightly into more normal territory here. First one is our 3 illustrated characters from the Podiots thumbnails and everything else. So those little kind of Terrence and Phillip looking things that we've used in a lot of branding. And the worst games ever case.
This is a tough one. I think these are both good.
Oh,
I mean, the characters would be more of a... I guess it depends. Maybe it depends on what your favourite part of Vidiots has been. If you're more of a Podiots kind of person, then the characters make sense. That's like podcast related. Whereas the case is, very much just a worst games thing. So.
I'm personally leaning towards the worst games ever case, I think.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too.
Do not open. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could go for that.
Oh, nice. Okay, all right, it's stacking up. Next up, we have just Billy Ray Walrus. Classic. Lovely. And that's going up against another blobby, but this time it is the design that I created for the special art print we did a while ago, a blobby being devoured by Noel.
I have it somewhere in this room, but
I really should have it up in this room, shouldn't I?
Mine's framed at the top of my stairs.
Oh, lovely.
Seen it in
By the
bathrooms.
artist, no less.
Hey.
Would how big would how small could you get the blobby being eaten artwork, like in a
That's a
decent
good point.
quality? Like, I feel like it would have to be big in order to really show all the detail.
Yeah,
so
that's like,
we're kind of asking them to get a very large tattoo there.
that's true. I feel like it's at least like hand size, pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or just a
I'm
little
leaning
Billy.
towards Billy, because you could even
Yeah,
just
I
get
think-
Billy's head, Billy's face.
I think
wanted.
Billy's probably the more logistically good option here.
And McVitie's grimace is, I mean, yes, logistically possible,
Yeah,
but
that's
morally dubious.
Ethically wrong.
Yeah. All right, next. I think this is my favorite of the bunch. A love heart with Caroline written over it. Or
Yeah.
Peter in bubble wrap from the time Peter got hit with a car.
Oh my god, me in bubble wrap tattooed on someone. That's
With a little
bizarre.
bubble wrap helmet.
Yeah.
and everything.
Well, as soon as I saw Love Heart with Caroline over it, I love that, because not only is it a reference to Podiots, but it's also, it looks like you've got a tattoo that you regret, because you're no longer with Caroline, and that's the whole story. It's like you become the divorcee. You become the man who has been submitting stuff to Podiots all this time.
I think that is one of the ones where like it is easier to just create a fake story with it for it than go with the actual truth of like it was donations that got out of hand.
My mum's called Caroline or something.
Yeah,
it's got to be the Caroline with a love heart over it.
Okay, agreed. Nice. All right, I think we're about halfway through the first round. Woo, looking good. Next up is simply just the words Podiots presents. I guess you could have fun with this by placing it somewhere on your body and use it as a title for that part of your body. Adjust it down. It could be anywhere. It could be above, could be side, could be anywhere.
Yeah.
Or another Billy, but this time it's the classic Ben and Peter holding Billy photo that we took like just before the beginning of Vidiots, where you're both holding him in the middle with your funny costumes on.
Oh, God.
Amazing costumes. I'm personally drawn to Podiots Presents, I think.
Me too. That's another good one.
Yeah, fair.
Stick
Agreed.
that at the top of your back with a colon, and it's like it's presenting most of your body, everything below. Or on your forehead, maybe.
Yeah, on your forehead.
Yeah, there you go. I'm reading this one, and now I think I realise this is a tattoo someone may already have out in the wild.
Two people, I think.
Yes.
have this.
Yeah.
Okay. So, a Rules Boss hat and telephone, or a tombstone with memory cards on it.
Both good, but Rules Boss hat, very iconic, you know?
Yeah.
To the point that people have had it tattooed already. So
I love the idea of, because we've been debating doing merch for like 6 years on this, but a tattoo with a gravestone that just says RIP memory cards on it, I think would be also very hard to explain.
Yeah, it would. Yeah. Oh, man. Well, my vote goes to Rules Boss. So are you voting Tombstone?
Okay, I'm going to go Tombstone as well. I think I quite like that as just a little thing.
RIP memory cards.
RIP memory cards.
RIP memory cards. Everyone's favourite. There's probably a lot of people who've never even watched an episode back who are listening to this
barely
podcast.
anyone watched an episode of that to begin with. That's the reason it's RIP.
That's why we killed it. Yeah.
Next up, a little potato smiley or a psycho seagull, however you want to interpret that.
Cool.
I feel like a psycho seagull would potentially just end up as just a tattoo of a seagull, which doesn't necessarily maintain or
you can have a little Dave Benson underneath it.
You get what? Sorry,
a little Dave Benson underneath the seagull.
If you want a seagull with a Dave Benson, that's a different tattoo.
That's true.
We're talking about a different thing now. But a potato smiley is iconic Vidiots, and I think that would be a very nice tattoo to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it's not going to win in the next round, but
and it falls into the category of, you know, blobby, or, you know, the kind of thing where people know what that is already. You don't have to explain Podiots. Just say, I got a potato smiley tattooed on me for some reason.
Just a lovely beige treat.
Yeah, I'm going potato smiley.
Agreed. Potato smiley's through. This is one. There was
go on, read the words. Read the words that you've written down.
Uncle Fatty, everyone's favourite tubby monkey.
Yeah.
I was debating putting Small Monkey John Deere on here, but I think he's more of a me thing than a video thing.
I love Small Monkey John Deere.
And it's Uncle Fatty versus a tin of beans that says it is beans time on it.
Brilliant.
Uncle Fatty wins over a tin of beans in the real world, certainly, because he will consume them. But I do love the idea of someone having a tin of beans on them with the caption, "It is beans time." That's what makes the difference.
Yeah, I like the "It is beans time" bean can.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. I could already see that coming together nicely in my head.
Yeah.
Another Billy variant here. This time, it's just his little broken guitar.
Oh no!
God, that is like a memorial tattoo, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's quite an artistic one. But if you want art, I think you might like the next option, which is the Snappy's Tomato Pizza logo.
The little tomato man.
Cruel one.
If you're ever in Bristol, though, and you have that on you, you are getting a free Snappy's.
You are not.
Friend.
Yeah, you probably would.
I guarantee you are not getting a free one, because Peter and I took a loving photo holding hands out the front of it for that.
Oh, yeah.
Vidiots reunion thing. Put it on their Google Maps. Nothing. No reaction from it. They don't give a shit. They're just a franchise. They don't care at all.
No, that's true.
Which is why I think you should get a Snappy's logo tattooed on your body.
I do think it's objectively better than a broken guitar anyway. So, yeah, I'd vote for Snappy's logo.
Amazing. Yeah. I am so pleased with how this is going. Next up, okay, it's two slightly normal ones to end on. A little Game Boy, just with the Vidiots logo on the screen. I think it could be quite cute, and it's quite an unridiculous option. And the TV from the Worst Games Ever intro with Vidiots 2018 to 2025 written in it. I mean, or whatever you want in it. But I think,
It's got to be
that's a good thing to put in it.
Yeah, I think so.
It's got to be that one.
The CRT. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay, cool. All right, that's round 1 done. We're whittling them down. Now for round 2. And one of our new entrants for round 2 is a Bobby Babaloony balloon animal of your choice. And that's going up against a stack of Hannah Montana games.
Stack of Hannah Montana games. It's got to
God.
be.
I mean, a balloon animal on its own is not very Vidiots, really. You have to explain it.
I'm trying to, I try to toe the line between overt and your subtle, and they could stand on their own.
Get a tattoo of Bobby Babaloony's face. That's the real
Get a tattoo
one.
of the text that says, "Hi, Evelyn.
Hi,
it's
Evelyn.
Bobby Babaloony."
It's Bobby Babaloony. If you're having a party.
Hey, yeah. Yeah, I'll go Hannah Montana games.
Yeah, I think that's the winner of those two.
Sorry,
Okay, moving on. Sorry, I'm
getting close
thinking
to
back.
the end. That one.
There's that person who got a load of Miley Cyrus tattoos all over them, wasn't there? Like a couple of years ago, and
God, was there?
I just get visions of that person. Let me see if I can quickly find this image. A fan? Oh, maybe I shouldn't be googling. There we go. Oh God, they're worse than I remember. This is what you could look like, Louis.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's bad. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it'll be better than that. Carl McCoy is his name if you want to Google his tattoos. Don't they're bloody awful.
I'll put them in the thread, shall I? Is it safe?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, stick it in there.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Mr. Blobby against the Titan McNuggy's Grimace.
I mean, my vote goes to McNuggy's Grimace, personally.
I'd like to see them actually fight, those two, and that'd be really good.
It'd be chaos.
Yeah, I think McNuggy's Grimace. So currently, the two that have got through to round 3 are a stack of Hannah Montana games and McNuggy's Grimace.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, oh God, okay.
Well, it's a video tattoo. Of course, it's going to be a bit silly.
Yeah.
Next up, another new entrant. Just the word Vidiots.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
notes.
in the exact style that it was written in the video,
Mm-hmm.
and that's going up against the Worst Games Ever case. Whoa.
It's got to be Vidiots.
Yeah, it has. Unfortunately for Freddie.
Make it
does
look
have to
like
be
your
Vidiots.
tattoo artist made the same mistake as Mikey.
Perfect. Vidiots, congratulations. Next up, Billy Ray Walrus and a love heart with Caroline over it.
Again, it's simple, this one, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't want to betray my son, but I'm going to have to.
It's a love heart with Caroline over
Love heart
it.
with Caroline.
Man. There's a trend here. That one seems to be sailing through no matter what. Uh-oh. Next up, I think, this is a new entrant, a good fighter who I think will fight a good fight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Meat Face.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going up against Podiots Presents.
That's a tough fight, but I mean, Meatface. I think we all have to admit that it was one of the first things that sprung to mind when someone said, "What tattoo should I get?" We're all
It's always
thinking
been in the back of my mind as a tattoo option.
the sticker that we had on the store, and the stylized Meatface.
Yeah. I think he's a little icon of the channel. That image cracked me up forever to the point where I just used it in basically all promotional stuff we did after that. If I was snuck him in somewhere.
Yeah.
It has to be Meatface, which is a shame because I think Podiots Presents would possibly win in other brackets if it was.
It's a tough one. Yeah,
we'll
Meatface is worthy of the next round. A tombstone with memory cards on it versus a potato smiley.
If we vote for Potato Smiley, it goes up against Meatface in the next
Oh my
bracket.
God, that's true.
The ultimate face-off.
Oh,
I mean, I think that's a better tattoo than the tombstone anyway, but
Yes.
I didn't vote for the tombstone in the previous round, so...
Let's stick the potato smiley through. I'm on board.
Yeah, Battle of the Faces. Let's go. Another new entrant. Peter's tiny red car, which was... Wait, what was that from? What was that featured in? Is that a Triple Jump video?
Yeah, the tiny pink car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
the
triple
little-
jump one.
Yeah, it's a triple jump thing.
God, we need to work out what we're going to do with that, Peter. Where's that going to live?
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Still at the office.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, God, who gets to take it home?
Does anyone want to buy it?
Can we sell it on the reunion stream, maybe?
You could drive it all the way to the person who wins it.
Yeah.
Like a
We had to
road
go
about
and,
it.
Yeah, go ahead.
so we had to go and pick that up from a quite old lady. She was she selling it or giving it away for free?
I think it was on Gumtree. I think I paid a £5 for it.
And we turned up and we were like, I don't know if we specified. We don't think we said it's for my niece.
Oh yeah, I lied to her. No, I did. I lied to her. I said it was for my
specify?
niece. Yeah, I
Right.
said I don't have a niece, so that's a lie. Yeah,
we thought she's not going to want to give it to us if we say we're about to take it, cover it in gold spray paint, and throw it around. Basically,
throw it at each other.
Took the roof off. You know, we really scrap heap challenged
Really
it.
blinged it up.
Yeah,
Boy, looks great now. So that's very much a triple jump thing then.
Yes. So I think that's my bad. I think that's an instant knockout for that one then.
Yeah, Beanstime wins.
I like the Beanstime one anyway. I would have voted for that.
Yeah,
so.
me too.
Yeah. Last up for round 2, the Snappy's Tomato Pizza logo versus the TV from Worst Games Ever with Vidiots 2018 to 2025 in it.
I still really like the Snappy's logo. Because it's just not fair, is it?
God,
it's just not a fair
sick.
thing to vote through.
I'm leaning towards Vidiots TV personally, just as a memorial tattoo. I think Snappy's logo is funny, but I'm voting for TV.
I'm saying Snappy's.
Oh
Okay.
God. Okay.
I think
It is a good logo.
It's a great logo.
It's a banging logo, and I also think whatever happens in the next round, tin of beans that says it's
true.
beans time is going to win. So that's just for fun. All right, round 3. We are
This is the
one round away from
quarterfinals
the
now.
semi-final.
Yeah.
Okay, deep breaths. A stack of Hannah Montana games versus the McNuggies Grimace.
I really want a stack of Hannah Montana games.
Oh, do you? I was
Yeah,
going to
I
say
do.
McNuggie's Grimace.
Because I just don't know how it's going to be realised. I can't... Like, giving that brief to a tattoo artist is going to be so hard.
Yeah, do you get them to do it like photorealistic and do like sort of horrible shading on it, or do you just say do a cartoony like clip art style thing?
Well, Louis, whatever result gets picked here, please trust your tattoo artist and their vision for it. They won't do you wrong, okay? Just have faith in how they want to do it. Where they've got more responsibility than we do when it comes to putting things on people's bodies forever. I'm fully in camp McNuggies.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
McNuggies wins.
Imagine having to take that. We've already taken it to Asda, to the cake shop.
Is
this right?
Is this right? You sure? Oh, God. Yeah, can you get your tattoo artist to do a photocopy of your phone face down in
Put
the cake
the scan
machine?
lines on it and everything.
All right. Next up, it's Vidiots versus the Love Heart with Caroline on it.
Oh, man.
Oh, they're both so good.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's the toughie. Oh, man.
It's Caroline for me.
I think it's Caroline, just because there's so much context and story and potential for funny moments when explaining it to people.
Excellent. I like Vidiots. It's a good little simple minimal one, but the mental image of Caroline is just absolutely storming ahead there. Next up it's the face off. Meat face versus the potato smiley. Whoa. I don't because like meat face is iconic. But visually to look at, there's not much to it.
And you wouldn't know it was meat if it was a tattoo. I think.
You wouldn't.
Yeah, if
Just a
you squint, they
fucked
both
up
kind of
smiley
look
face.
like one another.
But I feel it's more Vidiots than a potato smiley. It's certainly more Podiots, and I think even just more Vidiots generally. Personally, I'm leaning towards meat face.
Yeah,
if you get the meat face, can you also get the little girl holding it up behind it?
Oh, God. I'm team meat face here.
Yeah, meat facing too. All right. It's a tin of beans that says it is beans time versus the Snappy's tomato pizza logo.
Beans time.
Tin of beans for me.
But beans time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Got to be beans.
You know,
All
we
right.
could have had in place of Peter's tiny car, which wasn't triple jump, which wasn't Vidiots. We could have had the Feldhoyers meet Facery logo.
Ah, yeah.
Imagine getting that branded on you.
That'd be pretty badass. Like right along the forearm. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's Louis. I think Louis might be the one who went to the factory.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
Yeah.
Oh my
it's either
God,
Louis or his
same.
brother, but I think it might be Louis.
As I say, you can do whatever you want, but we will highly encourage you to get the one that we choose out of. This is the semi-final.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Mhm.
McNuggy's Grimace versus the Love Heart.
I think the love heart.
Yeah, I think the love heart as well. That feels right.
Yeah. Oh man, this final is going to be brutal.
Yeah.
Meatface versus the Tin of Beans.
I mean, this is pretty brutal.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I'm Team Beans.
I'm Team Beans as well, I think.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think on balance, I'm also Team Beans.
I think it'll be a more interesting tattoo to look at. I mean, Meatface would be absolutely hilarious, but
But it just really looks like a bad smiley face, doesn't it?
yeah, there's nowhere to do that well because it isn't.
Yeah.
It isn't good. All right, there we have our finalists.
Oh, Jesus. This is going to be really difficult.
Yeah, I'm not happy with this.
Yeah.
Love Heart with Caroline or Tin of Beans that says it is beans time.
Now, peek behind the curtain here. Mikey sent us the initial list of all these before we started recording, and just said, is there anything else that I should add to this? And when I skim read the whole list, as soon as I saw Love Heart with Caroline on, I said, please, Mikey, if you're like having to lose any from this to make space for others, do not let Love Heart with Caroline go.
Mhm.
Like, that has to stay in the tournament. So I think I've got some bias towards it. But is that because it is just the best tattoo? I don't know.
I
mean-
really like the Tin of Beans.
Tin of Beans.
The beans is good.
That is patently Vidiots.
Mm.
Love Heart with Caroline over it, patently Podiots.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
really a Podiots versus Vidiots finale. And they both have so many upsides that we've talked about already. The fact that the Caroline one will look like a spurned ex-lover, and that's going to have to be explained away. The Tin
Yeah.
of Beans is just a funny tattoo. The fact it says it is beans time just looks like a shit post. I feel like that could actually be enjoyed by a casual onlooker without any context.
That's the thing, yeah. If you saw someone with a tin of beans that says it is beans time, that would be funny. Whereas Caroline, you would just think, oh, they've never mentioned Caroline before. But
So
the other thing I like about Caroline is not just that it looks like it's a tattoo of a spurned lover, but if it is the tattoo of a spurned lover, you are cosplaying as the mystery man who has been donating. You become the man.
Caroline's ex-husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do we, I suppose it comes down to, are we going to be kind or are we going to be cruel and funny? Are we going to be kind and funny, or cruel and really funny? Because I think Caroline is the funnier of the two.
Yeah.
But it is also less fair to Louis.
Because I like, to me, Caroline is kind of the winner, but just for the sheer fact of like having that branded on somebody's body forever, it's going to make day-to-day life just that little bit more awkward and uncomfortable. And
especially if I was going to say, especially if he's not yet in a relationship. If he's seeking a heterosexual partner, well, it doesn't really matter what gender they are, but if he's dating women, and then they're like, oh, what's that? Who's Caroline? Can you get that removed, please?
But whereas Beans, big fan of Beans. Everyone
But if
likes Beans,
he is in
right?
a relationship, it's just as hard because he's got
it's even
he's
worse.
got to sell his partner on it first.
Would it be okay if? Yeah.
God.
Oh, God.
As hard as this is, I am leaning towards Beans time.
It does feel like, anyone listening to this who feels compelled to go with the winner, legally binding, almost against their will, I feel like if we make them get Caroline, then that is as you say, Ben, it's actually quite cruel long term. So, yeah, I think beans time, but, maybe leave it up to, again, if there are multiple people, not just Mr. Weber wanting a tattoo from this, perhaps if you want to sort of put your kind of pledge your allegiance to Podiots, you could go for the Caroline if you like. But, I think beans time.
Yeah, I think for today's game, tin of beans that says it is beans time is the winner. Congratulations, Louis.
Yes.
I hope you're happy. You did this to yourself.
You did. I hope it's one that you like as well.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's a good, I mean, there's a good roster there. I think not the best man one, but the fairest man one.
In the playoffs, we would have McNuggy's Grimace versus Meatface. Even that's quite a tricky one. They're on a level.
Yeah. Oh, man. Wow. Amazing. Well, we will watch and wait with bated breath to see how this goes.
I'll send Louis an email and let him know that we've decided and that he'll find out on the latest Podiots, and we'll keep you all posted on what he decides to do.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you very much, boys. We've done real good work here today.
We have. Thank you, Mikey. Moving on.
So,
yes.
Can I get your listener submitted thing, please?
Of course you can. I'm just we've created a branching path of replies in the thread, and I'm desperately trying to solve it. Hang on.
Are we posting the full bracket in completion, or are we able to?
No. I was just I went back to just some previous images from the thread where we created a choose your own adventure story. So
I see.
But yeah, we can maybe we don't
maybe we don't post the bracket just to be safe.
That's spoilers. Yeah. Cool. So I have a listener submitted thing here. It was sent to us by James at Corrosion Audio on Twitter. But we have actually opted for a slightly different write-up just because the original one was actually quite short. So we're actually now going to the Daily Mail instead of.
It's really good for its kind of articles, though.
It is, yeah. They write the best kind of trash. Including the headline. I might leave the first two words to the end because it's a pun. So the story is, husband's attempt to surprise his wife goes hilariously wrong when hotel covers their bed in crisps, in all caps, after a romantic gesture mix-up. But they started with the words, beddy salted.
Oh, come on.
Terrible. This is written by Francine Wolfish, and the story goes.
Good thing she's not Francine Sheepish, so that was worth the interruption.
Indeed.
I'm sorry.
There's nothing quite like the feel of crisp hotel sheets while enjoying time away from home. But one hapless husband had that taken to a whole new level when his entire bed was covered in the crunchy snack after a romantic gesture went spectacularly wrong. Johnny Norman, 35, took his wife Rachel, 36, out for her birthday in Blackpool, Lancashire, and secretly asked hotel staff to put 30 assorted bags of crisps on the bed while they were out to surprise his crisp-loving wife.
Okay.
But the staff misunderstood, opened the bags and sprinkled the crisps on the sheets like salty confetti. Let me send you the photo. It's very good and awful. There we go.
Oh, why did they? How could they possibly have thought that's what they wanted?
I don't know. What did they think they were going to do when they got back? Roll around on it.
That's horrendous.
So, stunned, Rachel thought they were victims of a strange break-in when she opened the door and saw the scene, but still decided to eat some of them.
Oh, of course.
After a mortified Johnny explained what must have happened, the pair could not stop laughing. Rachel loves crisps and would eat 4 bags a day. That's not a quote from Johnny, that is the article. Just saying, Rachel loves crisps and would eat 4 bags a day, spending up to £15 a week on the snack, until cutting down to 1 every 2 days recently in a bid to be healthier. Rachel, an NHS worker from Accrington, Lancashire, said, "I was hysterical. His face was a picture. Since that day, he's never tried any more romantic antics, but it's one of our favourite memories. Johnny, a warehouse operative, bought the crisps for Rachel's 30th birthday on December..." She's 36. What's going on here? It said in the opening she's 36. Has he kept these for 6 years? Johnny, a warehouse operative, bought the crisps for Rachel's 30th birthday on December 15th, 2018. He said, looking back... Oh, have they just told this story 6 years on, I think? Yeah.
Oh, maybe so.
I think that's what's happened. He said, looking back, it is really funny. Like we had some sort of prawn cocktail crisp fetish. Hotel staff changed the sheets and gave the couple a voucher for another night's stay. Oh, God. Well, there you go. That's the end of the...
what are these
the
photos?
End of the article. Also, there's comments down below. Someone, for some reason, has just said that bed was already slept in. How could you possibly tell? What? It's covered in crisps. Yeah, so...
Cried out loud.
What a weird thing. How could you possibly think, oh yeah, I've got 30 bags of crisps, can you put them on the bed, please?
Oh, to be fair, one time I told a hotel that I really liked... I really liked going for a wee, yeah, and then they pissed, they pissed in my bed. So,
yeah. Sorry, I didn't realize that's actually what you were going to say.
I was trying to think of a way where I could say that I don't like piss. That I like having a piss. I like taking a piss. And like, oh, this man must want piss in his bed.
Beddy salted.
That's right. Good line.
Yeah, thank you very much to. Hang on, who was it? James at Corrosion Audio for submitting that. Sorry, Mikey, I cut you off there.
I just imagine being that staff member. I feel like maybe after 5 bags of crisps, they realised they made a mistake.
After 1 bag of crisps, you're like, did that feel right?
Yeah.
Did that feel like the right thing to do?
Where are they going to sleep tonight? What am I doing?
And if this is a fetish thing, am I comfortable continuing?
Yeah, why can they not crisp their bed themselves? I don't want to be involved in this. Oh, God.
Christ. So I went to Japan at the end of April into the start of May. I had an amazing time, did all sorts of stuff, managed to squeeze a lot in over the sort of 9 days that I was there. One of the things I did, though, was go to a Japanese hot spring or an onsen. So for the second episode in a row, I'd like to talk about being naked and sweaty.
Ben, can I just say, my thing is also very, very similar.
Oh my God.
I'm also going to do an anecdote about being a bit embarrassed.
Okay.
But hey, it's a bumper session today.
Yeah,
so
yeah, bums out bumper session. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So we did our due diligence in advance. We emailed ahead, checked that we were allowed in with tattoos, because that is a big thing in Japanese culture. Because if you have
especially
tattoos,
if you've got it is beans time.
if you've got a beans time tattoo, you clearly work for the Yakuza. So that's why you're not allowed in these places. They said it was fine. So like, great. This was also in Hokkaido, which is the far north of Japan. So nowhere near Tokyo, not like a reasonably touristy area in the sense that we were there, but nowhere near as touristy. They are not used to seeing Westerners, white people, as if you were in a more metropolitan area, potentially. So I went there with my girlfriend and a family member who lives in Japan, and because they're both female, they're able to go in together, and I had to go in on my own because it's separated by gender. And already I was a bit nervous because I was like, I'm going to have to get my wonkins and my bollocks out, and I'm already going to feel like a bit of a pariah because I'm probably going to be the only white person in here, and people are going to be looking at me because I am tall, blonde, white, and have tattoos. And that is going to... I'm already uncomfortable with the idea of having my Nico Bellics out in public. And all these other things are just going to put me under a microscope, basically, for anyone else who's in there. And separated by gender means that I'm going to be going in by myself.
It's an interesting turn of phrase, talking about having your bellics out. It's going to put me under a microscope.
They're going to need to get the microscope out to see my bellics, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, sure.
So we arrive, and by the time we arrive, it's the evening. It's dark. It's quite cold actually, because it is cold in northern Japan. Usually quite snowy most of the year. There are mountains nearby as well, which have snow on them. It's very picturesque, although it is dark, so we can't see an awful lot. We park up and head inside. You have to leave your shoes at the door, which is customary in a lot of places in Japan. And there were some lockers that you could put coins in to leave your shoes in, but there is sort of like free, just leave your shoes here space available as well. And while we were trying to work out the lockers, a Japanese couple arrived who were sort of middle-aged, and they were just sort of waiting for us to finish up. We gave up on the shoe locker though, because you needed to put physical currency in to do it, and we didn't have a lot of physical currency. And as we would later find out, is a good thing we didn't waste physical currency on that, because you could only pay by cash. And weirdly, Japan, a very cash-dependent society, not an awful lot of sort of using cards and contactless stuff, which I was a bit surprised by. But anyway, we decided to leave that and just use the free stuff. And then they sort of just like, they didn't even mutter to themselves. They just openly chatted to each other in Japanese. And my family member who does speak Japanese responded to them, and they sounded a bit sheepish and embarrassed and sort of laughed it off. And then I was told afterwards that basically what they said was, yeah, because the lockers are too much effort, or something like that, like really sarcastically, because like, they're not going to understand what we're saying. So I was like, already, I feel really welcome here, and already feeling a bit nervous, so this is fine. So then we had to go up to this machine to buy tickets, because for whatever reason, this building is also a restaurant. And so a lot of people are there to go to the restaurant and not necessarily the onsen.
Not necessarily get naked, just
exactly. No, not everyone's there to get their bellics out. So we then had to run back to the car to get more cash out, because it only takes cash. And we're like, this sucks, because it's a machine that you buy a ticket from, but it doesn't take any card, which is annoying. So then eventually we pay, we go in, we have to walk through several corridors and staircases to get to the actual hot spring part of the building. And then I have to say goodbye to the people I'm there with. I have to slide a curtain aside, and then slide a sliding door aside. And then I'm in the boys' changing rooms, and I'm by myself. And I'm a bit nervous. And there are signs in there, but they're not in English. And so I have to take my phone out in a changing room to sort of take photos with Google Translate and try and work out what's going on. And they sort of detail the basic etiquette of what you've got to do when you get in there. But the only thing I can see on the other side of this changing room is another sliding door. And I don't know what's on the other side of it, as in, is there another staging area before you get to the hot spring, or do I get naked now? I'm not sure.
Oh, God.
So I'm sort of paralyzed by fear and choice at this point. I don't really do I just say, because I already knew, as I said, very nervous, but this is going to be a hell of an experience and hopefully a story afterwards. I'll just throw on I have a tiny modesty towel that doesn't even go around my waist. You basically just have to pin it above on your mons so it dangles over to sort of cover you.
Mons. Yeah.
My girlfriend and family member are in the women's changing rooms, literally on the other side of the wall, and we're connected to this same like Wi-Fi dongle, so we've got data out in Japan. And they're specifically, my family member who's been to these kind of places before is waiting for me to say I'm going in before they go in, just in case I have any questions. So I'm sending messages like, do I get naked now? What do I do? I don't know. And eventually I give up, and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to do it. So I take a deep breath and I slide open the door. I've got my little courtesy towel just dangling over my genitals, and thankfully it is the onsen directly the other side, and it is beautiful in that it's sort of like a big wooden house that I'm in. It's very steamy in there. There's a couple of constructed wooden baths with like bamboo flutes that are bringing the water in. The floor is all natural, sort of like eroded, curvy but very smooth stone that's been like whittled down over centuries. And there's also what I can only describe as a rock pool, which is the only natural inside formation that you can sit in. And it wasn't too busy. There's a wall of mirrors and like shower handsets and complimentary shampoo and conditioner and stuff like that. And I read up on the do's and don'ts beforehand. So you're meant to take a little stool, wash it off, sit down on it naked, and give yourself a little like rough wash before you do anything. So I did that. No one was really looking at me, which was nice. Washed off the stool again, put it back, plonked myself down in one of the wooden baths because that's where I felt safe, because there was no one else in it. And then I just sort of avoided, and you put your courtesy towel on your head while you're in there. So I had my towel on my head, and that was just on my wasn't, but it's clean. It's all clean. It's fine. And then I just sort of bided my time, tried not to make eye contact with anyone for as long as possible. And I knew that there was an outside bit, and I also knew that it was raining, and I kind of wanted to feel like a big frog and sit outside in the rain in the hot spring. And after a little while, I noticed that people were coming in and out of a door, and I was like, that must be where you go. But also I am sort of paralyzed by fear right now, and I'm not really sure if I can do it. But I plucked up the courage and I went over and I went outside, and it was beautiful, sort of this lovely natural pool illuminated by very soft lighting. In the distance, they've like illuminated all the trees up the mountain, and you can see some like Buddha statues and things. It was really, really lovely. Oh. And I sat there with my towel on my head in the rain, in this lovely hot spring, feeling very accomplished, but also extremely self-conscious, because on my way in, there was a man who I saw on my left just watch me the whole way down the stairs while I got into the hot spring and sit down. And at the corner of my eye, I could see he was still just intently staring at me.
Oh God!
Like I was a marvel, something to be observed.
You in the back of your head, you're not staring at you and your Jonathan. You're staring at you and your big, tall, white blonde.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, that's probably. I mean, he wasn't staring at my Johnson because I had my towel over me, so he couldn't. Even if he wanted to, he couldn't. In the middle of this hot spring, there was a big boulder, sort of a natural rock thing, and you could walk around it. And there was another set of stairs out the opposite side to where I came in, and then seemingly another sort of wooden outdoor bath that there were people in. And no fewer, than two people walked down the same stairs that I had walked down, saw that I was there, looked at me for a moment, then made great pains to walk around the other side of the boulder so as not to have to walk past me to then get out the other side. And that was such a surreal experience to be sort of singled out for not fitting in because of my race. And it's something obviously that we take very much for granted in the West.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But it was very odd in a way that sort of flies in the face of what I think a lot of people would assume the average Japanese person might be like in terms of the politeness of the society that genuinely I experienced across the entire rest of my trip. But in that specific environment, I felt very out of place and honestly a little unwelcome at times. It was really weird. So after that, I was like, I think I've had enough now. I've cooked myself for a while. I went back inside, plonked myself back. I was actually going to shower and then leave, but there were lots of rowdy boys and I felt a bit intimidated. So I got back in my wooden tub and I waited until it calmed down. And then I showered myself off, got changed, went out to wait. And in that waiting area, I experienced it again, where as I was walking past a guy who was waiting for someone else, he fully craned his entire neck and body around to watch me walk past. And then after a few moments, pivoted 180 degrees to like just look at me, to just take a good old look at me. And and then turn back around. And I was like, it was so weird. It was such a weird experience. But then I met up with the others, and that was the end of my hot spring experience. But very weird. If I was to do it again, it would be nice to have company, I think, rather than do it by myself. Yeah. But getting hot and sweaty in Japan, getting hot and sweaty in Newcastle, same thing, basically. Definitely not relaxed. But when I was outside, I tried to appreciate the situation that I was in terms of it was really cool. It was a cool experience. And I think probably if you go to something like that in a more touristy area, perhaps you won't get as many looks, but certainly going in by myself was a personal challenge for sure. And I would like to do it in an environment where I feel a little less self-conscious. But yeah, really cool. Would recommend.
Would ask if you got any pictures there, but I guess that's
Not allowed.
absolutely not the thing you do.
No, not allowed. Not allowed.
My story is in some ways very similar and in some ways kind of completely the opposite, but I'll have to tell you why in a moment after you, Mikey, though.
All right, yes, I have hold your horses. I've got a little viewer-submitted thing to get to before we hear more about naked bodies. So thank you very much, Ben.
You're welcome.
You're in a little naked body sandwich, Mikey, right now.
Yeah, how does it feel?
Oh boy! Well, we're about to get religious, so what better time to be in a naked sandwich?
For the J-man.
Getting naked for Jesus. This was submitted by Bartek Kubica at BartolBB on Twitter. This is a Metro article, and I'm going to read the headline to you, and I'm going to send some pictures in the chat. Oh, it's marvellous. Repainted 200-year-old Virgin Mary shrine looks more like Marge Simpson. Oh boy.
Oh no. They can't keep getting away with this. Who's repainted another holy symbol?
Eventually it's going to get the point where there's more badly repainted religious symbols than actual original ones.
Archaeologists will find them and be like, what was with this god that they had? It's weird.
Why was it yellow?
Thing. Yeah.
So I'm just going to pop in the first picture. Doop, get ready, because it says it looks like Marge Simpson, but undeniably that is a new Simpsons character entering the fray. I think the image hasn't worked. Maybe you scroll up. There we go.
Oh my god.
Oh,
good
so
grief.
That looks, for people who can't see it, that looks like how 13-year-old me used to paint Warhammer.
This is a very good
just like
description.
massive splotches of white over the eyes with a little pinprick of black in the middle for a pupil.
It is because it's got the Mary classic blue clothes as well. It does kind of evoke Marge, even though she doesn't have blue hair. It's certainly Marge's colour palette. You know, she's got quite luscious lips as well, hasn't she?
Yeah, very kissable. Lots of lipstick on there, sort of slapdash smeared across.
And then also
smooches.
A yellow Jesus as well, you know. Just really...
how could we forget yellow Jesus?
Yeah, I mean, he was born of her body, so he would also be yellow. It stands to reason, right?
Yeah, it's true. Jesus was a Simpson.
I appreciate them going the extra mile to add in the blood coming from the chest.
Yeah,
the bloody drippy nip.
Oh God, yeah, that is the blood on the chest was a bit much for me.
Yeah, and out of the nail holes as well. They've added a little drip to each one. Yeah.
Oh. They're an artist, what can you say?
He looks quite peaceful, though, doesn't he? He's just having a little snooze up there.
Yeah.
She, probably, it's mostly the eyes. She looks horrified. She's terrified of what is happening above her and what has happened to her.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
Looks like a warning for like what happens to you if you look at the sun directly too long.
Yeah, it does really sort of evoke that. It's like that Donald Trump photo, isn't it, in some ways? She just needs to be pointing and squinting a bit. But
all right, let's see what this artist have to say for themselves. Or maybe nothing. Maybe the artist is still being found.
Was it Banksy?
Oh, it looks like a Banksy.
It could be a Banksy.
Classic Banksy. Villagers are searching for an amateur artist who, quote-unquote, renovated a more than 200-year-old shrine in Poland. Oh,
wow.
Jesus and the Virgin Mary are depicted in the 1820 shrine, which is a registered monument in Studzianka, a small village in southern Poland. Somehow makes it worse that it was registered somewhere. Like, it's in a registry now.
We know where that is.
So
and we know what it is meant to look like, sadly. Not that.
So a man in a dusty office is typing up, updating the description. Yellow.
I bet he's really excited. This is the most work he's been able to do for ages at the monument, the Jesus Monument Registry Office.
Hang on a minute. Our branding is yellow. Is this a Podiots presents the Jesus Shrine?
There we go.
Where is it again?
Poland, Studzianka.
Can you spell that
Podiots
for
presents the Studzianka Shrine.
Well, let's, you know what? The monument's already been defaced. Let's go the extra mile and deface the Google Maps for it as well.
Studzionka.
Let me just put it in Discord.
Paste it in Discord, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, let's have a look at that, bub. Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at. Okay, I'm going to try and track it down on Google Maps.
Okay,
All right,
sure.
I track it down. I'll give you some more breadcrumbs to use as a trail. Pictures of the shrine went viral when former monument conservator Monica Bodganowska shared it on Facebook. The Virgin Mary looks particularly shocked with her new paint job, her eyes darting to the side while clasping her hands. Oh, here we go, yeah. Her skin appears more like that of Marge Simpson than the Madonna.
Yeah.
They've got two in this town, you know.
What? Oh my God.
I clicked on a different one and it's got trees next to it. There it is, and it's updated. It's got the Simpson. The Simpson one is the default one on Google Maps now.
Oh no!
What did you type in to find it?
Oh God, it's so good. You just scroll down and there's her fucking face. Let me just send you a photo of just this page. It's so good. Hang on, here we go. It's really good.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's a way better photo than in the article. The hands. Oh, she's got like Wallace hands. They're massive.
She does.
Proper chunky. Good. That fence didn't do much work in protecting it.
No,
Got right
it's got a
over
security
that.
fence. They
It's a
stepped
tiny
right over that, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh God.
Is it on Street View yet? Oh, it's not on Street View yet. It lives on. May 2023 is. I tell you what, though, you zoom in, she still looks pretty horrified.
This is apparently another display of good intentions. A renovated roadside chapel from the town of Studzionka. It is enough to imagine that it was good sculptural work. Unfortunately, very tarnished with thick layers of paint.
The hands aren't good sculptural work. That's not been done by the painter. The massive hands.
Someone's come in and remodeled her hands as well, look.
I don't think the statue is particularly great to begin with. This is just the extra paint layers really do amplify the wonk.
Yeah.
The wonk. I'm having a crisis of confidence. Call it Catholic guilt, even though I'm not Catholic. I don't feel like we should claim a religious destination.
Maybe
Google.
not. Yeah, maybe not.
Especially because it's hot at the moment. It's too hot. We should.
That's true.
If
That's
anything,
true.
we should come back at the end of the year and maybe claim it then.
People might think we did the paint job if we
Yeah, exactly.
vandalize it too much.
Oh,
Shall I call
the
it
Google Vidiots
Banksy
and see all this yellow.
Presents?
Banksy Presents. Yeah, that's fine. That's innocuous. The cross stands in the middle of nowhere. There are no trees, which greatly changes the context of the chapel. So yeah, this thing stands alone in a field. It's the only thing you can see for miles and miles around. Good God. The author of the photos alerted the conversation services, conservation, not the conversation services. I'm talking about it, they're protecting it. Alerted them about the matter, and let's hope that in the near future it will be possible to subject this valuable object to professional conservation because it deserves it. I've never heard subject the object to nice conservation. Subject feels quite aggressive there. An inspection into the damage caused to the shrine is currently underway by local authorities who said, "We are not dealing here with a case of vandalism. We are dealing with a case quite common in similar, smaller communities of a shrine being restored in an absolutely unacceptable way."
Oh no.
Absolutely raging.
Unacceptable.
Unfortunately, this has led to the devastation of the monument. And, I'm going to put in another picture. This is very nicely, maybe very helpfully, the artist included their signature and a date on the base of the statue. So that's quite handy.
Jesus did it. It's a self-portrait. JC2.
JC2, he's back.
Yeah.
You guys have been painting me wrong all this time. I'm yellow. Oh dear. And one last picture. A really striking angle here. A low angle facing up, which really amplifies the beauty of Mary's big clomping hands. Jesus Christ.
That is art in and of itself, that photo.
Yeah.
Really good.
The lighting's giving Jesus a hell of a a bosom as well, I'll say.
Yeah, he's busty,
It's a
isn't he?
bit, yeah.
He's
yeah.
busting.
Good for Jesus.
Goodness me.
It could have been worse. In 2012, a woman in her 80s attempted to restore a fresco of Jesus
I
Christ.
love that one.
That's
That's a classic, that
It's a
one.
classic, yeah.
Yeah, that's I think that's the one that brought this kind of thing to everyone's attention. Maybe now there's Jesus hunters out there who go hunting or purposefully painting these things to get some attention.
And in 1997, Mr. Bean once famously attempted
Yes.
to... British tourist Mr. Bean once attempted to restore a work of art as well.
That scene was always so unsettling to me as a kid. There's something
Me
like
too.
it's grey and drab, and it's so frantic, and it's just
And the organ music, they put like this harsh organ music when he sees the bubbling pain and he's sort of panicking. It gives me anxiety in the pit of my stomach. Like,
I felt
what
like
would
I was in
do?
trouble.
Yeah. Oh, it is really, really haunting, that scene. I don't know what it is. Oh, God.
the last line here from the article describing the fresco of Jesus Christ in Spain, saying it looked like a hairy monkey in an ill-fitting tunic. So there you go.
There's a bit, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll keep our eyes peeled for further updates so we can find this heinous criminal who's devastating monuments across Poland. Naughty. But also
We'll
keep
get
doing it. It's quite good. All right, lovely. Thank you very much, boys.
Thank you, Mikey.
Thank you, Mikey. Yeah.
Oh, you're very welcome. I'm always happy to share the arts with you too. Peter, I believe it's time for your tale of naked.
Back to nudity. I mean, actually, my story isn't necessarily so much about nudity, but it is about just sort of being an awkward white British video game content creator boy being in an uncomfortable situation. But I tell you, like, I mean, you alluded to, hang on, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but you alluded earlier, Mikey, to men with their tackle out, and there is a bit of that. So there is, I can promise a bit of nudity.
Well, that's what we're all here for, really, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
A little bit of bum.
Exactly. And under bollock, perhaps.
Ooh,
well, just a touch.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, well, not a touch. Do not touch is that's the rules. So I've just come back from a trip to Ireland, which was very nice. Had a lovely time. And while we were out there, so my wife has just celebrated a significant birthday. And for her birthday, she was given the gift of a spa day for two, not just for her, but for someone else. And I, being married to her, got to be the other person.
What a perk.
Lucky.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. And I have been to spas before, but essentially just, it's like a nice swimming baths with a steam room and a sauna and so on. And yeah, they have rooms where you can get really expensive, nice things, but I've never done those before. I've only ever enjoyed a steam room and a sauna and what have you. So that's what I am familiar with. But part of this package that we had was treatments. So going into this, I was a bit uncomfortable. I was a bit nervous. I was like, it's a strange scenario. I'm going to be in a room potentially with very little, or maybe depending on what they ask, I might have to have nothing on, maybe a towel, or I don't know. Wasn't sure what to expect. But I'll tell you about my adventures. So we got there, and the first thing we did was we wanted to use the pool and the steam room and so on, and then you get the treatments afterwards. So we went and had a little swim around and stuff. It was really quiet. It was really nice. They had this like saltwater pool as well, which was interesting. Where they like,
did you drink any?
Water. Didn't drink any on purpose, but like your entire body gets kind of salty, and so when you like lick your lips when you get out, you're kind of like, oh, I'm all salty.
I really didn't know. I didn't think you were going to say any other body part, but part of me thought he's going to say like when you lick your arm when you get out, and I'm going to say, why did you lick your arm? But
why did you lick your arm?
Is such an obvious answer that for some reason I didn't think of. He's like, what's he lick?
When you lick your cock when you get out,
and you do big willy lick on after the salt bath.
Yeah. So it was pretty salty. But so then I had to like get dried off and stuff and get ready to go and get these treatments done. And in there was an old man, about 60, who did the classic old man in changing rooms thing, where as soon as he could, he took his swimming trunks off. And then as late as he could, he sort of covered up and got dressed and stuff. Now, I'm no prude, but when a man is literally he like took his pants off and then he's like using the sink and he's like looking at his hair in the mirror just with his knob out. He was at one point like flossing his arse cheeks with a towel.
Brilliant. Classic move.
It's just every old man has to do that. There's a certain point in life where you just develop the audacity to be able to floss your crack in public spaces.
Are you going to do that?
Yeah.
Do you think, Mikey? Are you going to do that?
We all will, Ben. It's non-negotiable.
Okay. It's inevitable.
You hit 60 and it's like, I'm going to go floss my ass in front of some other men. That's what I'm going to go do. Mm-hmm. Wherever I can do it.
He had his leg up on the bench as well, and it was
like
all
full-on power stance. Yeah, I think it's just like a power move at that point, isn't it?
Yeah, talking his balls.
Oh, I didn't see any talc actually, but I'm sure he probably did. Yeah,
right.
So that kind of immediately put me in the whole mindset of like, oh, nudity's weird, isn't it? Even though it's not, and like I'm quite in some ways I'm a fairly modern man and not very prudish, and I'm quite metrosexual, but also like, oh, I've just seen old hairy bollocks. And now I've got to go into a room and stuff's going to happen. I don't know what's going to go on here. And I was all feeling all weird about it. So then, we went out to the spa area, the treatment area, and we're sitting there filling in this health form and stuff that you have to do. And then this lady comes around the corner and goes, Amy. And Amy turns and says, yeah. And she says, hi, I'm here to do your treatment and stuff. And I'm thinking, hello, I'm here too. Excuse me. I'm sitting right here. What about me?
The star's right here.
Indeed. And then another lady comes around the corner and says, Peter. And I said, oh, yeah. And it's from that point on, we are essentially treated like as two completely separate clients, which I was really hoping that at least some of it, or if not all of it, would be done as like, you can get like couples treatments where you're both lying there on adjacent massage tables or whatever. And you can even you can have a chat if you want to, or you can just relax. But no, that set the tone from that point on. I was just going to be alone in a room with a lady who was going to be just doing weird stuff that it was the fear of the unknown, I think is what I was there feeling. So she led me to this darkened room. And the first thing we were doing is they have a series of special baths, which is a bit of a strange thing, but they have.
Would you like a special bath?
Would you like they have I think they have a saltwater one, and they have
get in more licking.
Essential oils one. Get in, yeah. They probably have a Dettol one as well.
Yes, the Dettol bath, of course.
So she leads me to this room and we walk into this like very darkened room. There's something very weird about someone you've never met before leading you to a room and essentially saying, right, I've run you a bath. And you're just there in the room and there's a bath ready. And she said to me,
quite nice about that. You don't hear that beyond the age of 8.
Yeah, exactly. It was a what's the word? Like a regressing experience in some ways. And she said to me, would you like to... So I was still in my like semi-dried off swimming trunks. And she said, would you like some disposable shorts? And I sort of shrugged and said, yeah, do you think I should? And she said, yeah, like that's normally better. So I was like, okay, fine. She said, I'll leave you to it. And I took these trunks out of the packet they were in. And when I say they were one size fits all, I mean that all of the people on Earth could have fit inside these trunks at the same time.
Is it like that shirt that we got for in the movies?
Yes, exactly. But sort of crepey, like fabric-y shorts. Right. They had enough elastication on the waist that they stay up at the hips, but they were massive. So got in and had my bath, which was nice, and it had all these bubbles and lights and stuff. It was like a Japanese toilet, actually. Ben, did you encounter any exciting Japanese toilets on your trip?
I did. Yeah, it was pretty. It was a bit of a game changer. Yeah.
Right. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. It was.
I should have talked about it at the time, but it sounds lovely. Did you get any rubber ducks?
No rubber ducks, sadly, but it was a very nice time. And then she comes back in after a little while and then takes me down to this room. And again, at this point, I was hoping, maybe now I'm going to meet up with Amy and we're going to have the rest of it. But no, I'm taken into this room onto this bed thing. And what I knew we were there for was a polish which is not. I wasn't quite sure whether she was just going to cover me in Mr. Sheen or something, but and then also an algae wrap, which sounds like something you'd get from like Pret a Manger or something.
Yeah, it's quite a fancy lunch, isn't it?
Yeah, but she started with the polish, which was very nice, but it was essentially like just an exfoliation thing. So she like scrubbed my body to death, and it felt really nice. It was very I don't know. It was just like having a really nice
skin
scratch
peeled off you.
yeah, exactly.
It was like, was she two-handing it? Just like...
Yeah, and she went right up my big pants and right down my big pants as well from the top. Like, she went everywhere, which, just doing her job. But again, me sitting there thinking like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen in this room. It's all very unnerving.
Did you get any like heads up before this, or was it just like she's doing a job and she's in the routine?
That's just what I was going to say, actually. So for the most part, I mean, she told me what each thing was going to be before it started, but for as she sort of moved around various body parts, she was just doing it like, suddenly her hands would be there and there and there. But then when I turned onto my back, so I'd started lying on my front and she was doing my back, and then I turned over and she'd like done my legs and stuff with me lying on my back, and then she suddenly said, Peter, is it okay if I exfoliate your tummy? And I was like, tummy?
Wow.
Don't say tummy. Say, well, I don't know what the better word would be, but so I said, oh, yep, that's fine. And then she like went over to the corner to get some more of the stuff on her hands, and I suddenly thought, why did she have to ask me that? Because I'd said yes, I'd assumed she was asking me because I guess like if you're pregnant or if maybe you have some kind of like issue with your organs, like your abdominal organs or whatever, you might not want someone rubbing all over your tummy. But I thought, is that the reason? Or is it like, I mean this within the confines of professional service, like, is it something that people who regularly go to spas use as a kind of a polite way of saying, the way that we do this treatment is we go down your tummy and we might go very, very, very far down your tummy to the base of your shaft kind of thing. I was thinking what have I just consented to? Like, was she, was she not really asking about my tummy? Was she asking about sort of my mons,
Right, yeah, get right in on the mons.
Yeah. Anyway, I think she was just asking about abdominal organs or something.
Okay,
although she did go down the waistband a bit, it wasn't too dangerous. But then came the algae wrap, and it was very nice. It was like this really hot. Imagine like one of those giant tubs of like face cream you can get or something. Like, is that kind of texture? But imagine that heated up in the microwave to very, very warm temperatures, and then rubbed all over your body. Like, it felt really nice, but was very strange, and it did smell sort of not fishy, but. Well, like seaweed, essentially, what it smelled like. So that was all a bit of a strange like collection of sensations. But it being an algae rub, it was completely green. And I was lying there at one point thinking just about the absurdity of what was going on and thinking, I'm going to have to tell this story on Podiots. And just for most of this, I'd had my eyes shut. And just for a brief moment, I opened my eyes. This was after she'd been going for quite a while now, like putting this algae all over me. And I looked down at my massive shorts that were purple, incidentally, and I'm completely green. And I'm like, I look like the Hulk has gone back to being weak, thin man, but he's still green.
But something's gone really wrong.
Yeah. And his shorts have expanded, but now they're the size they were when he was the monster. And yeah, it was very strange. I'm just like looking like the Hulk. It was so weird. Then that wasn't even the wrap in itself. It's not just that they put the stuff on you. You're lying on this bed that you're on a layer of cling film, essentially, like plastic, which I thought was there just to protect the bed. But there was so much excess of it drooping down the sides of the bed, and she lifts it up and wraps it over you, and she saran wraps you. You get shrink wrapped. And then underneath that, on the bed, you're essentially just sitting in a giant gym bag. You don't realize it at the time, but she brings the sides up and zips you up inside it in this cocoon. And then she said, I'm going to switch this on now. And I'm thinking, what do you mean switch it on? What are you going to do?
Like a baked potato.
Yeah. And that's what it was. It was like a heated bag thing. And so you let this like algae get all hot on you, and it's all wrapped up against your skin, so it can't really go anywhere. And I guess it's sort of meant to make you sweat and let your pores open up and stuff. And it was all very strange. But it was nice. It was really good. So she went off and left me like that. I felt like an actual piece of sushi because I'm just all wrapped up and I smell like fish. And eventually she comes and she unzips me. And I've been trying to just like keep my mind like, like stop being awkward, stop being weird. And I was like, just think about something normal. Don't think about how weird this situation is. Just think about. And I looked down at my green skin again as she was unwrapping me, and I was just for some reason thinking about Shrek. Well, I know why. Not for some reason. It's because I was green. Yeah. So I'm lying there. This lady's like unwrapping plastic off me as I'm covered in like warm cream, and I'm like, somebody, having a great time. And then there's a sort of slightly undignified ending where I kind of thought that she was gonna like get a big flannel and just kind of wipe all the stuff off first, but no, she kind of says, okay, so there's a shower over there in the corner for you. And here's some towels, and she sort of laid some towels on the floor as well for me to walk on to get to the shower. And as you're walking, you're leaving this like green slime everywhere. And I had the shower and washed it all off. And when I looked back into the room after I got out of the shower, there's just all these like soiled green towels all over the floor, which obviously is part of the process. She's not going to come in and be like, what the hell have you been doing in here? But it kind of looked like someone had cleaned up after like a baby having diarrhea or something. It was really weird. Anyway, all of which is to say, I actually had a lovely time. It was very relaxing. I was thinking about telling this story on Podiots for most of the time, but it was very nice. It was just really strange. And I guess a bit like your story, Ben, like I imagine you to some extent or other enjoyed the actual lying in the tub thing, if not for the fact that everything else around you was strange and uncomfortable. But,
yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I had a really nice time, and I didn't have to get naked. I just got to see a pair of saggy old man bollocks just for free. So
lucky! Can't believe you got that as well.
Mm-hmm. Did you keep the big shorts?
I didn't actually, but I'm sure if I'd asked, I probably could have done.
Can I keep the big shorts?
Excuse me.
They're all green.
Yeah, they were. They were all slimy and weird. It was so strange.
No, absolutely, sir. I'll get you a bag for those. Yeah. No need. I will wear them out.
Oh God. Anyway, it was all very good, and all the people I dealt with were really good as well. Like, they did everything that they could and should have done to just be normal and make an awkward man feel at ease. And I did okay, I think, but nice. Just a strange environment, like you at the tanning salon as well, Ben. Just,
yes.
What are we doing in these places?
Look at us. How is this beautifying ourselves?
Yeah. Yeah, it's your turn, Mikey. You need to go
to a nail bar or something.
Go and get a facial or something.
Yeah, maybe I'll look up some spas in the area and see what I can do. Can't just do like normal spa. Can't do an algae wrap, sadly. Or maybe I can do it as part of it. I'll find something. It's time I had a little bit of treatment. My skin needs a nice green glow.
Yeah,
a healthy green glow.
I think they gave me the purple pants on purpose. They were like, yes, he's in for the Hulk treatment. Yeah.
Oh
God, amazing. Thank you very much, Peter.
You're welcome.
Good. I mean, you can go back now and you know what you're getting in for, and you'll be relaxed the entire way through, and you won't have to have in your mind, this is Podiots content.
Yeah.
Told that story now. You can just enjoy being green.
Yeah. I would definitely do it again. It was really nice. Like the hot green face cream all over you feels amazingly relaxing. Like it's more than I expected it to. I was like, oh, this is really good. I could do with hot cream more in my life, I think.
Go get it, man.
I think maybe I will.
Want to be wrapped up in cling film. That just sounds quite fun.
It's just microwaving guacamole and trying to do it at home.
Yeah.
It's not the same. It's not the same. Amy, it's not the same. The pants they fit. It's not the same.
Oh, no.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much, Peter. And
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mikey, for your things as well. And I believe this takes us to the end of the episode. Did you know, Michael Johnson, that there is seemingly some sort of shop, ?
You're darn tootin'. If you head over to vidiotsofficial.com and click on the lovely, enticing, spectacular, beautiful shop button, you will be greeted by a veritable bounty of Vidiots and Podiots related memorabilia and tat. We've got hoodies, we've got shirts, we got caps, we got mug, we got stickers. Oh boy, what a deal. I don't know what that means, but boy, what a deal. Your one-stop shop for all of your weird little designs on t-shirts. Go check it out. Treat yourself. You're worth it. Vidiotsofficial.com.
Wow, what an advert. Amazing.
Yeah, what a deal.
Instagram and TikTok, we are at vidiots.official. And on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Blue Sky, we are /Vidiots.
Vidiots official.
Discord, vidiotsofficial.com/Discord. Thank you, Tommy and Fleckers, for modding us over there. We appreciate you both very much. Twitch.tv/vidiotsofficial is where we will stream at the end of the year for the reunion stream. However, right now, you can go to podiots.com, and if you donate £3 or more, you'll get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the next episode of the podcast. You support what we're doing, you will immortalize yourself in an episode, or a friend or a pet or something, as we continue our final run up to the end of the year. Thank you so much again to this month's Pod Squad, which is, of course, Michael Johnson. Take it away.
Immortalized forever is... Your dome gash is beautiful. Lovely. Still doesn't feel right. Thank you. Raindrop Joy, Donaco7, Stephen Skodes, The Generous, King Cool, Harry Wooey Whams, and the also generous Joel Loves Jess.
We also had UV-induced knob spoiders, Narf Wed Can't Watch Andor, Lord Even Sadder Nautovich, Triple Jump is Changing, Caroline, Do We Own a Cat, and In the Wake of TJ Changing -sad.
Sad. And finally, we have Mess on Me Moobs for Mayday, Become OBGYN's Periodiots, Domegash D's Nuts, Urax Vom Paradise Nuts, JD Vance Inder Underpants, Keith Skugwin's Dead, Kermit the Pog, Chocolate Eggers, and Prince Beefcakes. Thank you so much, Pod Squad. Podiots.com, £3 or more to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the next episode. Thank you so much, everybody. What is the highlight, Peter Austin, of what came out on Vidiots 7 years ago this month? Anything big?
Sure, there were plenty more post some tats and various bits and bobs, but there's some of the big ones. Oh, and Skyrim Zoo continued through the month, but we had Worst Games Ever, Beverly Hills Cop. We're coming back to Newcastle, Glitch 2018.
What is it?
What is it? It didn't happen.
Imagine a world where Glitch happened, like us live on a stage.
Stage with Hat Films.
Wow.
Fittingly, having mentioned Potato Smileys today, Worst Cooking Ever, the official WGE meal went out on the 11th of May. So that's another classic. We did the Spyro Prove It. We had Worst Games Ever, Shell Shock 2 Blood Trails. There was also the Han Solo Dance Challenge, as well as the I'm Han Solo Raw green screen upload. And then that pretty much takes us to the end of the month in terms of highlights. But, lots of other things as well. Sunday Fun Days and all your usual stuff. So go have a look at all of that.
Excellent. Michael Johnson, where are you on the internet, please?
At Parrot Boy on Instagram, and Blue Sky is where you can find me. I rarely post, but maybe I will. I probably won't, but follow me there just in case I ever decide to. Thank you.
Amazing. And Peter, where are we now, please?
We are now, as said, making more Worst Games Ever on our own channel, youtube.com/@worstgamesever, and you can find us at Worst Games Inc. on most of the social media places. Ben is streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/confused_dude, playing lots of different video games several times a week. And you can find me on YouTube doing weird Capetia-esque stuff and sort of Mikey Johnson, strange historical characters at youtube.com/@thatpeter_austin. And in both cases, the @ symbols are required. That's how YouTube works now, apparently.
Yes. Incredible. Well, there's just enough time to not only leave us a 5-star review on your platform of choice, it helps something to do with Al Gore's rhythms, but also to ask a final question. What do you guys think it should be?
The tat.
The tat.
Gotta be. What tat are you getting out the lineup?
As in tattoo, not
Yes.
not tat stuff.
Not posting
not
stuff.
Post some tat. No.
Yeah. What tattoo?
What's your tattoo of choice from the list?
What would you
I guess we've already asked that, though, haven't we? Maybe the question should be, will you be getting the winning tattoo on your skin?
Just a series of responses that say, absolutely not. No, no, won't, shan't, etc. Amazing. Thank you so much for listening/watching, everybody. We'll be back next month. We appreciate you all. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you then. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.